Just a heads up, today's episode contains adult content.
Hi, Ben. My name's Nikki, and one day in 2014, I nearly lost my job. My horse nearly died, and I got kicked out of my home. I turned to the only work I could think of to make money. My secret is, I sold my body to save my horse and myself, and no one knows.
Today, The Secret Room presents, I Sold My Body to Save My Horse.
I have nowhere to live, my horse is sick, and I'm going to just do whatever I have to do. So if you want to see me, it's going to cost you money. It's not that big of a deal.
So you're straight up honest, and
right.
How did people react? Hey everyone, I'm Ben Ham, and welcome to The Secret Room. On today's episode, my guest is Nikki. She's a horse caretaker, trainer, and owner, and she tells us about a string of bad luck that led her to a point in life where she had to make some desperate decisions. It's the story of how bad things can happen to good people, but it's also a story about how to respond when life gives us so many lemons. Let's get started. Hi, Nikki, and welcome to The Secret Room.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You have been through a lot, and you've done a lot to survive, stuff you can't talk about, but you're going to share it with us today.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best.
I think it's quite a story. I'm really excited that you've chosen this podcast to share it, and I'm really interested in just getting through it with you.
Yeah.
I think we should start your story in 2014 when you were 22.
Okay.
That makes you about 33 now, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How were you making a living back then in 2014 when you were 22?
Well, I graduated high school early and I started just working with horses and horse sitting for people. And I grew a pretty good clientele of people who, you know, they'd all go out of the town at the same time, but you'd be busy and just feeding horses, cleaning stalls all day, riding horses in the middle of the day. So kind of like working up to 2014, I was really, really busy, like long days, hard days, but it was fun. I look back on it now and I'm like, man, I wish I hadn't have ridden that 3-year-old and like broken my knee or whatever. But anyway.
You have a real passion for horses.
Yeah, I do.
They're like your life.
They're like the one passion I have where I'm like, man, I know what I'm doing here.
Well, it's amazing that you were drawn at such a young age to just have your own business centered around your passion. Pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. How was life at home?
It was okay. Like, I lived with my parents. I worked at UPS for a minute, and I was used to like doing hard work, probably because I wasn't that good in school and I wanted to make up for it. I'm like, man, if you just work hard, like you can get through life.
That's usually true.
Yeah.
How many horses did you have when you were a kid?
Oh my gosh. Usually just one, but I have a couple of horses that my parents did not know about, which I find hilarious.
What? How does a 22-year-old who lives at home have horses that her parents don't know about?
Well, you know, like I'd have clients where I'm like, hey, I ride like 6-year horses. What if instead of, you know, you paying me to ride all these horses, I keep one of my horses in your field and you can pay me a little bit less or whatever. And, you know, I'd take in horses that like people kind of gave up on or didn't know what to do with them. I get offered free horses quite a bit just because like I had a sense about what piece was missing to make that horse be successful or help them find their way.
You're really in tune with horses.
Yeah, I do not like people. I'm not good with people. I don't know what to talk about with them.
Talk about horses.
Well, no, not really. Because then you got the people who think they know about them. And it's like, I'm a totally different type of horse person. I'm not I don't know. There's like a calm there. There's like no ego. There's just, I treat them the way I wish people treated me, with just a lot of forgiveness. So.
Oh, well, they are beautiful, beautiful animals.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you got each of your 3 horses?
Well, back in 2014,
Yeah.
I had a retired horse that my mom bought for me. I look back on her and I'm like, man, that's one of the best horses you're ever going to have. And it was the hardest horse to learn how to ride on. And then we got one of them off the racetrack. He came from Hollywood Park, and you just pay per pound when they're going to go off to slaughter. So a couple $100, and he was a fantastic horse. And then a couple others that just kind of were given to me or traded off through just knowing people that also had similar sensibilities about horses. So horse trainers specifically, very territorial people usually. I'm like, dude, if you have a skill set that I don't have, let's go to that person.
Yeah.
Like if that's what the horse needs, then it's going there. I would give people horses off that I got. I'm like, you know what? This is going to be a better situation for that horse down the road. So off you go.
Mm. Oh, that's great. You're a very selfless horse owner. Horse comes first.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, they're like big babies.
Is it expensive to own 3 horses?
Yeah.
Or 1 horse even?
Yeah, 1 horse. I mean, even a couple $100. That's just for the board. Maybe they got special shoes or vet bills or feed. And it can range. If you can take care of them yourself, if you can keep them in a pasture, you can probably keep that down to $100. But if you're trying to make that horse a show horse or something, that's going to be whether you need a trainer or you need lessons, you need special stuff for that horse. It's like thousands of dollars, man. The most I've ever spent consistently in a month is like $2,000 per horse. That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah. It's too much.
More than a dog.
Yeah.
A dog does not cost $2,000 a month, that's for sure.
No.
Yeah. So at the time you worked for a trainer, can you tell me about that job a little bit?
Oh, God. Yeah. It was actually like a pretty cool opportunity. I think I had brought my horses to a show facility to have someone ride one of my horses, like test ride them, see if they wanted to buy the horse. And I was there with 2 of my horses, and I saw a trainer, and I asked her if she needed any help, and she saw me ride. She said, sure. She had a huge, like 50 horse in training. That's in the hunter jumper world. Those are $100,000 a piece, horses minimum, some of them. The lady had very high expectations, which is really typical. And so it's not like you don't expect that going in. Wow. You start really early in the morning, like 4:00 in the morning, doing laundry, making sure all the leg wraps are ready. Like there's certain things that horses that jump pretty consistently, you don't put them away wet. You dry their legs. You wrap their legs after they jump. Do they need poultice? Do they need hand wash? Like there are so many things. This is the bit for that horse. You have to use this half pad. You have to remember. You have to like be detail oriented and actually care while you're getting verbally abused and your body hurts.
Who is verbally abusing you?
Oh, every once in a while people. I remember one day, I'm like a pretty casual person. I remember one day though, like I was new and I didn't know any better. And I wore this tank top, and she, at the end of the day, she's like, you rode really good today, but don't ever fucking wear a tank top in here again.
Why not?
You want your shoulders covered. You want to look, you tuck your shirt in, like your boots better be clean. And I'm like walking horses out into the mud and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And I have to be clean all the time. And it's just a different world. But I've worked for a lot of people. I've worked for probably 15 plus trainers. I have one trainer who I absolutely adore. She was one of the hardest working people I've ever known, and she treated people fairly and kindly. And after that, I've never met anyone I'm like, I would be willing to work for you again. They're just not kind. Maybe you see them get egotistical and angry and beat a horse, and it's like, that is not something, like that's all just your ego. Like he's not doing what you want him to do. Instead of asking like why he won't do that. People go crazy for perfection.
How long did you work there for that trainer?
Not a year. It was one winter, and it was a pretty cold winter.
Do you remember how the job ended?
She laid me off. She said they didn't need any help anymore. It was pretty much how I remembered it. I had left a job so that I could work for her.
And had you made accommodations in your life to suit the job?
Yeah. I moved my horses out to a facility down the way. The primary goal was like that the lady wanted my horses at her barn. It's kind of a scam, you know, because if her board is $750 a horse, then I have to at least be making $1,500 to just do that. And that doesn't make sense to me. I think I moved them down the road for like $300 each.
So when that job came to an end, you found yourself in some difficult straits.
Yeah. Things kind of just like fell into my lap though. Like I remember just riding around the facility where I had my horses, which was just down the way. And I was kind of getting along with the office manager and asked her if she needed help. Yeah, I started working there, taking pictures during the show season and pushing up their like Facebook presence. At the end of the day, driving around the golf cart with port wine and asking if anybody wants shots and take pictures with them and, you know, stuff like that to just kind of keep the atmosphere like fun and not so uptight. I remember one day this lady was walking past me and she noticed my horse was clipped and she said, "Oh, he looks really good. You want to do my horse? He's kind of a nut job." And I'm like, I'd love to hear that. So anyway,
right up your alley.
Right. I ended up body clipping this horse for this lady.
Does that mean just giving it like a haircut?
Yeah. So like October, they'll start to grow their winter coat. If you clip them in October, then usually you have to reclip in like December or January.
Okay.
So they don't sweat so much in the evenings. But he was kind of a nut job to clip. Like some horses really do not like it. I think she was there for part of it. She came back at the end and was really surprised how good he was. And this is a horse who like would not stand for the farrier, had to be drugged for like simple stuff. And she ended up asking me if I wanted to work with her horse, and I did. So I started riding the horse, working on his groundwork, and we ended up leaving that barn, going somewhere else.
And she stayed with you?
Yeah, she moved with me. That's not uncommon. Like if a person decides, you know, oh, I trust you with my horse and I'm not as available. Like I've had people do that before. You know, they trust that I'm taking care of them.
So you had a good relationship with this client.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
She trusted you and appreciated the work you did with her horse.
Mm-hmm.
Did that last for a while?
Yeah. Couple months into it, she let me know that she's being relocated to the East Coast. See, like, I'm not forward. I wouldn't have asked. She probably offered. And I was like, okay.
Offered what?
Offered to let me move back east with her. So.
Oh, wow. That's a very big commitment.
Yeah, I think that she is just that type of person, like, likes to do weird things, likes to take weird chances. And I'm kind of the same way. Like, I was like, okay, I'll think about it.
Okay.
And I was thinking like, okay, I'll save all my money and maybe I can make this happen. So yeah, I decided to move back east with her. I had not very much money at the end of the moving day, but
mm-hmm.
I scrapped it together and was like, hell yeah, I want to restart. Like, let's do this.
Okay, so you've got a cool opportunity here. You're going to move across the country. You're going to keep your working relationship with this woman. And what are the living arrangements going to be in your new home?
So she got a very typical Southern home that has way more rooms than anyone ever needs. Like, we can have 7 kids with a huge attic and all this extra stuff. And it's like, you know, she offered me a spare room that had a little bit of its own entrance and that kind of thing. And the house was great and everything seemed like it was going to be great.
You must have been over the moon. I mean, this sounds like a really awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
Is the room and board part of your compensation package?
Yeah. My expectation is just take care of the horses, keep him in training, like between 3 to 4 days a week, ride the horse, but mostly just cleaning the stalls, feeding twice a day, general care of the horse, going and getting grain, that kind of stuff. Like be the barn maid, basically.
Right. And that's going to be your full-time job.
I mean, to pay off the room that she was offering me. Yeah. And that doesn't pay anything. So I would have to go get a regular job.
I see. Okay.
On the second day back east, I went into a tack store and just like let them know that I was new to town and that I'm like pretty good with horses and I know my way around and would be happy to work here. And they offered me a job.
A tack store is a store that sells horse supplies, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who was in the store that day was the manager. I can't even go into it really, but he is a character. And I'm like an odd person. I don't like to do small talk really. So if people need help, like I'm happy to guide them. But the one thing I really liked doing was helping people find saddles, which kind of made me like a little bit more of a helpful person. Like you could sell a bottle of soap. Anyone can do that. Or like shampoo. But like fitting a rider to a saddle that would help the saddle fitter when they then go out to fit the horse. That's really helpful. So like I can tell the difference between high quality, what's, pretty okay with customer service.
So things are going pretty well at the tack store? You get along with your boss and kind of learn the ropes quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I did my best. Like the computer system was number based. So you learn the numbers that you type into the computer and that does like prompt commands. This is like old school kind of computer tech. But it manages its inventory. It's just not the most advanced. And for the most part, I was pretty okay with everybody, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
People will probably say, oh, I hated her. But I remember actually being hated by the college girls. But I think that's just because
came into the tack store?
Oh, the ones that work there. Yeah, they were a tough crowd, some of them. But that's just the way the horse world is. It's very cliquey and like, I'm the kind of free spirit. Like I moved to town and like I do horsemanship but I also have worked in the industry. And so I'm not illiterate. I can ride pretty well and they just didn't like me, but that's different. If you're not from there, you're not one of them. That can be the way things are. So.
And so how many hours are you working at the tack store?
I was working 40, like as much as they would let me. Yeah.
You have time to work 40 hours at the tack store and take care of all of your responsibilities as a barn maid. Yeah.
So you wake up early. Some days I would walk to the barn through the neighborhood. It's like, 6 o'clock in the morning, 100% humidity. And, so you go to the barn, you go home, you shower, you go to work.
Long day.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it's normal. It could get worse. It does get worse.
Yeah. Ahead, a string of unfortunate circumstances leads Nikki to make a desperate decision. Stay with me.
When I'm hydrated, I feel so much better. I used to think electrolytes were just for athletes, but with Drip Drop, I notice my mood and focus shift instantly when I'm hydrated. Thanks to Drip Drop for supporting The Secret Room. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code SECRET for 20% off your first order. What makes me trust Drip Drop is that it is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration. Electrolytes use precise ratios to help you absorb hydration faster. And I am constantly busy and rushing around, so I need a little help on the fly. And Drip Drop has 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading sports drinks. I only want to put the best ingredients in my body, and this fits the bill. I love the convenient pre-portioned packets. I can throw them in my purse or in the car, and I have them on hand. Just last week, I realized I hadn't had any hydration other than coffee, and that's already when I was crashing. And Drip Drop made me feel like new in no time. The passion fruit flavor has been my favorite of the 18 flavors so far. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code SECRET. That's dripdrop.com, promo code SECRET for 20% off. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code SECRET. Check the show notes.
And we are back. Were you making enough money?
No. I think that they paid me like $8 an hour, which when you map that out, that's like $320 per week after taxes. You get down to like $256 is the number I remember.
Goodness, what was minimum wage at the time?
Like $8, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a lot of money.
No. And you're standing all day. They don't let you sit down. It's part of the rule.
Hope you got a lunch break.
Yeah, you get a lunch break.
Was food included at your client's house?
No. They probably would have offered, but no. I would get like those $1 microwave meals, ramen, peanut butter jelly. Those are like your staples. No snacks.
Gosh. So you didn't eat meals with the family?
No, everyone had like a crazy schedule. So she lived there. She had a fiance at the time, but she also had her oldest daughter whose boyfriend lived with them and their newborn. Then the middle son and sometimes the youngest daughter. So
you're just kind of a free agent in this house.
Yeah.
Being the barmaid and going to the tech store to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was your boss at the tech store?
Sometimes it was okay. When I was younger, I didn't understand. But now, looking back, I'm like, that person deserves respect.
You did not respect him at the time?
It was hard to. Like, why are you so mean? You have so many rules.
He was mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just constantly being picked on. Like, but now it's like, I would laugh at that. Like, I knew what you're doing. Now I get it. It's not like they're calling you fat or anything. They're just, what are you doing? Nothing? That's the problem. So just stay busy and help people.
Well, that sounds like a reasonable expectation.
Fact.
From an employer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only, I guess he could be polite about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So they're not from this country. That's part of it. But I won't say from where. I know someone's going to listen and know, oh, I know who that is. 100%.
All right. Good. Well, good choice. Okay. I think we've got a good picture of what life was like at the tech store.
Yeah.
How was life in the house?
It could be calm. It could be chaotic. A lot of people in and out of the house. Always some kind of, we're upset about something, but I don't know what it is, and I don't need the whole story, which is fine. I really don't want the story. You know, sometimes bad things just happen to people constantly, but that's the energy they attract into their life.
I would think if I were in your situation there, I would feel a little bit like an outsider, you know, a little out of place, because everybody who lives at the house is family.
Yeah.
And I'm essentially an employee.
Yeah. Yeah. It took them a while. Like, the oldest daughter one time asked if I wanted to smoke weed with her. And I was like, sure. Hell yeah. Okay. But for the most part, like, it's just, I'm a person who can disappear. Like, I could be invisible. And I was okay with that.
Tell me about Thanksgiving night.
They offered to let me have dinner with them. And it was like, you know, in a Southern house, you've got extra rooms, right? So you've got the big dining room, and it's got a big table and one of those things at the wall where they put all the dishes there. It's like fancy, and you all got dressed up, and that wasn't what my house was like growing up. And I was just like, hell, this is crazy. And so we're just sitting there, we're eating. And my memory is that somebody started it. And I don't remember what it even was.
Started a fight?
Yeah, started a fight. And I just kind of got really quiet, and I didn't understand, didn't have the whole story, didn't need to get into it. They just started arguing. People started leaving the table.
Oh, boy.
It was like 7 or 8 people at the table. And people just started leaving the table. They left their shit at the table. I'm like, what in the hell? Eventually, everyone was gone, and it was just me and the older daughter's boyfriend or husband. I don't remember. And he was just like, that was weird. Because I think a little bit of an outsider, too. Like, not family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they ended up leaving, and I'm just there at the table with this big mess. So I just am like, well, what the fuck? Start putting things away, start cleaning dishes. Everyone's yelling it. Like, you hear it all around the house, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to clean up.
Oh, man, what a scene.
Yeah.
And so what happened next?
Probably like 30 to 60 minutes later, she comes by and...
Your client?
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen, and there's like a bar top, and she just sits down or starts pouring herself a glass of wine, and was just like, oh my gosh. Started talking to me, and I don't remember any of it at this point because I already let it go. And I just knew that I don't want to be in a dysfunctional family like that. I just knew, like, I'm not sure this is going to work out.
Oh, boy. That night was a turning point for you. You were like, I don't think I can work here much longer.
Yeah. I mean, but then, of course, you're like, I don't know what to do about that. Like, what are you going to do? I can barely afford hay. It is what it is.
Was there anything else that happened at the house, or was that it?
Yeah, so it was like 2 or 3 weeks later. They had just in the fall, they had done something to the pastures, but we lived in this community where it's a horse community. So like there's a lot of sprawling hillside and whatever. And a lot of those pastures around the properties are either like HOA, like anyone who has a horse that lives here is free to use that. You just have to get your horse there. No one's going to do it for you.
Okay, it's part of the community.
Yeah, so they had just done something with the pastures in November and they were finally open again. I asked like several times, I'm like, they're safe to use? Of course, go ahead. They let us know they're safe. I dumped the water, I changed the water, took the horses from the barn, which is like an uphill walk and then a little bit of a longer walk, about a half mile through the woods, a little bit of road, took both of them at the same time, my horse and her horse, turned them out in the same pasture. They were both geldings that got along fine to be with each other. And the pasture was kind of like, there's a road about maybe a football field away. There's an actual busy road. It's double fenced. The horses are safe unless they jump out and go on an adventure. And I left. I was like, they're great. I probably went and cleaned their stalls, got everything set for dinner so they could just be brought right back in. And I went back to the house, took a shower, got ready for work, went to work, worked all day. It was a weird day at work. There was like so many people in town. In the fall, in this city, they have a huge international horse show. So you get a lot of random people coming in, which means that those people aren't in our computer system. And in order to do a checkout on the computer, you got to log it into the system either as a customer or a customer that doesn't care about making a return. You don't know these people, whatever. Save your receipt or don't return it. This guy gets to check out. It's late. We're about to close, like probably an hour within closing. He's got a ton of stuff, like $2,000 worth of stuff. And I mess up. I couldn't figure out how to get him into the checkout, or I messed up during checkout. Something got messed up. He started yelling. I started crying. And I was like,
oh boy,
I don't even know why you're mad at me. Like, I'm just doing my best, like every fucking day, basically. And my boss comes over and he does the checkout. And I remember later, I was in the back room and I was like pretending to organize something and crying. He says something to the effect of like, you're going to fucking piss me off. And then...
What?
Yeah. I know I made a mistake, but I don't think you needed to yell at me. And the customer, I mean, like, they don't need to yell at me. Of course I don't want them yelling. Like, weren't you happy and on your way? And the supervisor came by me later, right as we were closing. And she was like, he wants to talk to you. And we're all standing at the door to leave. And I'm like literally trying to not have this happen. And she's like, hey, don't forget, he wanted to talk to you. So they all leave. Oh, no. And I'm there alone, which now looking back, saying it out loud, I'm like, that was probably not like an okay thing to do, have me be alone with him. But it was fine. He got upset at me, told me that if I don't get my shit together, like, I'm not going to be able to work here anymore. I'm pretty sure I just like begged for a chance because I'd been already trying to get other jobs or figure something else out, essentially.
Were you doing okay at the job otherwise?
I think so, but
this was the only thing that had happened, and it just seems like his reaction is kind of extreme. I don't think it was the only thing. There was probably other things, but it was like an atmosphere where people tried to create problems. So it wasn't a great environment. So after the meeting, you left work and you still had your job. You were just on probation, essentially.
yeah, like you're going to get nuked if you don't get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's late and you've still got to take care of the horses, which are out in the field.
Right.
It's been a real bummer of a day for Nikki, and it is not over yet. What happens with her horse is next.
As the holidays creep up and schedules get packed, I love using Home Chef to keep our meals balanced and easy. With so many options delivered right to us, I can stick to a routine that feels good without sacrificing flavor or wasting time on takeout and grocery runs. And you've still got time to cook up a Thanksgiving Day feast with Home Chef. Whether you're entertaining or staying home and eating a cozy favorite, Home Chef has you covered. The sweet potato casserole looks so good, and they are even cooking up turkey so you can celebrate in style. Home Chef is rated #1 by other users of meal kits for quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering you 50% off and free shipping for your first box plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/secret. On nights where you just need something easy, Home Chef's 5-ingredient meals are perfect. 5 fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and dinner is done. Home Chef even saves you money. Since everything is pre-portioned, there's no waste. On average, customers save $86 per month on groceries. Fast and affordable? Count me in. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering you 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/secret. That's homechef.com/secret for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Check the show notes.
And Nikki's secret continues. So it's late and you've still got to take care of the horses, which are out in the field.
Right. So I drive home. It's about 30 minutes. And my memory is that I just drove right to the pasture. And I was like, I'll walk back for my car later. It was almost dark. And the horses weren't the type to go running around like, oh, you missed dinner, or like have a stupid fit. No, they were fine.
Okay. Please don't tell me they had jumped the fences and gone on their adventure.
No. They were chill. They were just waiting for me to get there. They were fine. They had plenty of grass. I mean, they were so probably happy there was grass to be eaten all day.
A feast.
Yeah, I checked them over and I'm like, God, he just does not look right. Like something seems wrong with my horse. And the other horse was fine. He's totally fine. And I just go, that's so weird. He looked lethargic. He seemed sick. I remember just really taking my time to get them back to the barn because now you're walking through the dark woods and her horse can be a little spooky. My horse was totally chill. And we get back into the barn and like all of a sudden my horse just collapsed. He had like a seizure. I remember seeing his legs like shaking. He laid right on his side and he started having like a seizure. And instead of getting up after that episode, he stayed down. He curled up, tucked his legs, looked like he was just having a nap. I threw a cooler on him. Like as soon as he hit the ground, I went and put the other horse away. I was like, there's nothing I can do. Like, you're having a seizure. So I put the other horse away, come right back. And he's just sitting there, passed out. Other people are feeding their horses. They're like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with your horse? I have no idea. The vet's on the way. She checked him out and was thinking, she mentioned botulism, which is something they can get through feed. But typically, I don't think it hits them that quickly. But I've known horses to die or have been put down for botulism.
And it would have hit the other horses too, right?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I'm like, this other guy is just fine. So unless he ate the wrong patch of grass, something happened. I don't know what had happened. We never figured out what happened. She mentioned putting him down. And I just go, that's definitely not going to happen. Like, I've had this horse since I was 16. I rescued him. We're not doing that. Yeah. I stayed at the barn for hours, just sitting there. I don't remember him eating that much or drinking that much. And I was just like, please don't die.
Oh.
So
What happened?
At some point, I ran back to get my car and drove to the house to charge my phone because my phone was dead. And I just like threw microwave meal in the microwave. And this lady comes through and she goes, "Hey, we're going to need that room. You got to leave." I can't remember, like, if she even asked me if I was okay. Like, where have you even been? It's like 10 o'clock at night. Were you just waiting for me to get home? She goes, like, "You need to leave." And I'm not the type of person to stick around when people don't want me around. Anyway, I was like, fuck this. I grabbed my macaroni and I went back out to the barn to check on my horse. And then I was like, this shit all in one day.
That's a terrible, terrible day.
It was a weird one.
Did she say how fast she needed you to move out?
No. She probably thought it would, I mean, I don't know, have a clue what she thought. But in my mind, I was like, okay, well, how could we do this as quickly as possible? Like, if you don't want me here, she's going to realize so quickly how much work this is.
Yeah.
Cleaning the stalls, cleaning the pastures, feeding the horses. She's not even around at breakfast or dinner time. That's why I feed them.
Do you know why she needed the room? There were plenty of rooms there.
Yeah, I didn't. I think there was some excuse, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I just was like, well, I literally have nothing, so that's fine. She offered me the bed that they gave me. It was one of her son's beds that had, like, stains. It was a little gross. It was an old one. But I was just happy to have a bed.
Yeah. So this is an awful, awful day.
Yeah.
What happened to your horse?
He ended up just kind of coming out of it. Like, I think I gave him a ton of electrolytes. I don't remember if we gave him any meds, like anything like that. He just started to sort of come back to life. Thank
goodness. This has probably been one of the most challenging days of your life, emotionally.
Sorry.
And so now, I'm sorry?
No, I'm laughing because it really, I've had some shit days before and I've had some pretty shit days after too, so. Yeah. It was a tough day though.
Okay, yeah, to that point. I mean, I know your story gets worse because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
But to that point, that was, let's put it this way, that was a pretty awful day.
It was. You're like just giving it your all in life, and life is just double fisting your fingers back at you, like, try harder.
So now you've got the prospect of needing to move out, both you and your horse. And your job barely pays you enough money, to live on ramen, much less the added expenses of an apartment and a place to keep your horse.
Right. Yeah.
So what's your plan?
Okay. Texted a friend that I had hooked up with a few times. We had like just a good, uncomplicated friends with benefits. And like, honestly, it was like ridiculous. I was like, who are you and where'd you come from? But I was like, hey, do you think I could fuck people for money? And I'm pretty sure they texted back like, yeah, but I'm not going to pay you. I didn't think that. But they were like, yeah, probably. You'd be fine. It's like, okay.
Wow. Okay. So you're embarking on a new career as a sex worker.
Yeah.
Must have been a scary prospect. Wasn't something you were looking for, but you're in a situation.
Yeah. I think I started out like really confident in myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It went downhill from there.
What did you do to put your plan into action?
I updated my Tinder profile, changed the name on there. Back in the day, you could just use a different phone number, Google Voice or something. I I had already been a member on FetLife, and in FetLife, they have groups, local groups that I was already aware of. People make posts like ISO, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't even come up with something funny right now, but you know what I mean? Like, if you're into something specific, like, go right ahead, put it out, and I'm sure the locals will get you. I added some pictures. I put my kick on there. Like, people started messaging me. Honestly, that got to be so distracting, is just being constantly bombarded by people messaging you and trying to talk to you and wanting to know about you. And it's like, I don't even know if you're the John from a month ago or from yesterday that I just met. Like, where do you work? Like, I'd have to take notes on these people just to make it sound like I remembered them and cared.
Huh, so you had a whole spreadsheet going. Did you mention in your profiles that this was for money?
You'd get kicked out. Definitely banned on Tinder, which happened a few different times, because people will, once they know and then they're offended, they'll report you. And then you got to start over, which is fine. Not a big deal. The algorithm actually like benefits new profiles. So it was it wasn't that bad.
Okay. How did people generally react when you got to a point in the conversation where you said, you know, this is going to be for cash?
Right. I would just be very direct and open, like to the point where people were like, what's the deal with you? Like, you got to stand out. You got to just stand out. And so I would say, hey, you're to a point where you obviously want to hook up with me. I'm like, that's fine, but it's this much money. You know, they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, and here's why. Da, 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 da. I have nowhere to live. My horse is sick. And you know what? I'm going to just do whatever I have to do. So if you want to see me, it's going to cost you money. It's not that big of a deal.
So you're straight up honest and how people react. Nikki's decided to take up sex work to make ends work for herself and for her horse. We'll find out how it goes next. Okay, everyone, it's time to talk about your skincare and how this time of year it might need a little extra TLC. Between cold weather and the rush of the holidays, it's easy for my skin to feel dry, dull, or stressed. They've got formulas for your skin, face, eyes, and more. And if you listen to this show, you know how much I love their OS1 face product. At the core is their patented OS1 peptide. It's the first ingredient proven to target senescent cells, the root cause of wrinkles, crepiness, and loss of elasticity, which are all key signs of skin aging. And these results have now been validated in 5 different clinical studies. This is the real deal. I am loving OneSkin, and I want to thank them for sponsoring The Secret Room, and I have got a discount for you. Go to oneskin.co and use code SECRET for 15% off. It's a great deal. OneSkin has also launched their limited edition holiday sets, including the Nightly Rewind gift set, which is one of those great gifts that is both impressive and genuinely useful, providing an upgrade to anyone's nightly routine, featuring the best-selling face moisturizer, their new peptide lip mask, and a cooling gua sha tool. Each component of the set is designed to work together as your body enters its natural nightly repair mode, helping renew skin at the cellular level for a stronger, smoother, and more resilient skin. I'd heard about OneSkin, and now that I'm a customer, I can say I'm really impressed with how smoothly it applies and by their science-first approach to skin aging, delivering hydration, barrier support, and powerful longevity benefits in every product. For a limited time, try OneSkin for 15% off using code SECRET at oneskin.co/secret. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support The Secret Room and tell them we sent you. Check the show notes for the link. Don't miss this deal. Before the break, Nikki told us how she was straightforward with men about her intentions, and I asked her how they reacted.
95% no problem. Like, okay.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's like the heartstrings or something. Once they realize why, it's like, okay, I got $100 or got $200, like, whatever.
So you've got a backstory.
Yeah.
And the backstory was appealing. Like, I'm just in desperate straits and I need to find a way out and maybe you can help.
Yeah. And it's not bullshit. Like, I'm not going to sit here and chat with you unless this is going anywhere. So, you know, if you're interested in talking to me, then this is what it's going to be. And some people were fine with that. It keeps things simple. That way, when it's done, it's done. And like, I'm not on your mind. You're not on my mind. Just next.
And so how long did it take for you to find your first client?
I think it was like a week.
Okay.
It couldn't have been that long because I'm not a person who's going to waste time. I think that the guy who first messaged me was like, you look like Tina from Bob's Burgers. And that was his icebreaker. And actually, the guy was pretty cool. He was an engineer, hella smart, had way too much money, smoked a ton of weed, had really good weed. It was a great time. And also, like, got money out of it. Pretty good client, like, fun to hang out with. Not a bad deal. Some people don't care. They don't care. They just want a simple situation.
You were digging it. You're like, this is something I can handle.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yes. Simple people like that. Very lucky to have that be my first encounter. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, you could just walk in here and slap me on the face and like be like, get down. You don't know.
You always had a sense of fear for your safety.
A little bit, yeah.
Makes sense.
I think the situations where things didn't go well, I totally thought I trusted that person. And I'm the type of person who will let someone show me exactly who they are. Not because I want to die, but because I want to know, who are you? Sometimes you see the evil in people. Not the best situations. After I had one situation where I was really uncomfortable, I was really scared, I was crying. Things did not end when I wanted them to end. After that, I was scared. I was really scared all the time.
Can you tell me what happened in that encounter?
Yeah, I met a person who was in town doing construction, was their story. I don't really remember their name. I do have a list of names, and I do mark, use like an emoji, if they were good or if they were generous or if they were terrible or like evil. And I do have one mark for this one person. And I showed up at their hotel, and it started out like one thing, just kind of rough. And then it turned into like straight up just rape, like cool. And I know that people like to have rough sex. That's fine. But there's a difference. Yeah.
He was actually hurting you.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I'm so sorry. So you told him to stop, and he wouldn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was screaming probably. And it just got uncomfortable. Like, it really felt like I was just gone. I think that was the first time I think I ever remember, like, I'm not here anymore. Like, I'm gone. And whatever happens is like something else.
Did anybody from the hotel come around?
No. I'm pretty sure I don't think I got aggressive. I don't remember what happened. I know I left. It wasn't long. I was gone within an hour. That was like a time where I really wish I had done something for myself.
Like what?
Like defended myself. I've been in other situations where I have defended myself. I was proud of myself for doing that because, you just learn to not tolerate things. Okay, like I can tell the difference between, like, you sense the evil. You learn to sense the evil, and then you just don't go again. You don't.
So did you have second thoughts about being a sex worker after some of these experiences?
Yeah, I was very scared after that, in the way, not scared, but cautious. It took me a few days to feel like normal again. And I think I went and either saw people that I'd already seen, or I was kind of changing gears, like people who were perhaps married and just wanted to hook up and didn't want to stay the night or anything weird like that. Not that that's weird. I just mean that I was just done with anybody, and I was like, I need a different type of customer. And that was fine, actually. Older dudes are pretty cool. Like, they know what they want, pretty good in bed, simple. They're not here for just chit chat, like just on to the next thing or wherever it is, back to the house or wife or whatever. I don't want to be cheated on now. But if that's the choice they're making, they're going to make that choice anyway. That's how I feel about it, unfortunately. It's like, if you're going to cheat on your wife, I'm not going to talk about it. I'll keep it simple. So despite the negative situations that you'd found yourself in, you kept on doing it, right? Yeah. Yeah. At what point did you move out from the client's house? It was probably 3 weeks to a month. I went and rent in that area was about $600, $700. So I got a 2-bedroom for $700. And then, by now, if I look at it online now, it's probably like $2,100. It's ridiculous. To scrap together like $1,500 in a couple weeks is like not an easy task. When you have nothing, it's not that easy. Yeah. So you moved out after 3 weeks when you had enough money from your new job. And you were still working at the tax shop? Yes. Why'd you keep working there? Paid a lot less. Well, yeah. Normalcy and also if I could make any money, I didn't care how I got it really at that rate. I actually really loved working there. Some of the people were suck, but the job was fun. The customers were great. Like, you get to see the same people once a week and check up on them and chit chat, and it's nice. Like, it's normal. Yeah. So you must have had to move your horse too. Yeah. I moved my horse to a co-op, which means that, like a couple days a week, I'm feeding at night, or I'm feeding in the morning, or I'm doing turnouts, that kind of thing. Like, you're cleaning stalls this day, that kind of thing. Very cheap. But like, I ended up being great friends with the girl who had that place. And I was so grateful to have even found it, because it's just like a shot in the dark now. You couldn't find a safe, clean, nice place to keep your horse for $150. If you threw your sword all the way across the USA, you're not going to find one. I don't know. Wow. Well, good for you. So what was a typical day like now? Okay. Probably like, I know I did nights. I always did night feeds and night cleans. So I'd probably work all day at the tack store, go out to the barn, do all the stuff out there, maybe ride, maybe not. And then go home, shower, perhaps have a snack. I don't think so. And then go out and do whatever, like meet whoever. And if sounds bad, but like, if I didn't have anyone to meet up to pay me, like I had other friends with benefits with people. So like, I might go see them, I'm just having fun, just to have fun. Like, you get in this like cycle of needing to be accepted and wanting to have sex. And it's just like, you can't quit. Do you mind if I ask, what was it like sleeping with strangers, and maybe in particular, people that you might not have been so attracted to? Boy, Nikki's got a good heart, doesn't she? I don't know that I would trust my horse's care, if I had one, with anyone else more than I would with Nikki. We'll find out just what sex work was like with strangers, and if she can overcome the desperate straits she's found herself in, on the next episode of The Secret Room. And in the meantime, you can check Nikki's pictures on social media. Just search for @SecretRoomPod. And you could also consider a membership to help keep this podcast coming to you on the regular. If you become a member, you get access to a huge library of extra Secret Room shows, hosted by none other than Susie Lark.
Amber's mother was highly regarded in their community. the very embodiment of leadership and trust. But to Amber, her mom was an entirely different woman, one who wouldn't protect her from something terrible. No one would suspect how this respected leader and mom shaped Amber's childhood, the effects of which linger on well beyond her passing. I'm Susie Lark. Join me in 1 week.
Become a member and join us for more Secret Room on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or at patreon.com/secret room. Another great way to support is by stepping up to share your own secret. I know you have one. Everyone does. Take that first step by clicking the Share a Secret button at secretroompod.com. You can now listen to The Secret Room on YouTube. The link is in the show notes. This episode of your favorite indie podcast that could was produced in Upsallata, Argentina, and we'll be back with the conclusion of Nikki's story in just 2 short weeks. This is The Secret Room, a podcast about the stories no one ever tells. I'm Ben Ham.